Hello everybody, what's going on? Jerome here along with Ryan, and welcome back to the Jerome and Ryan Show.
Because we're not good at coming up with show names.
That's
and
right.
Today, we have a did we just do something really cool with this box?
We actually did, Ryan. So me and Ryan flew all the way out to LA to hand deliver one of these troll packs to a lucky fan of ours. And the cool part is we're going to be doing that for 2 more fans throughout the month of March.
He made a video too, and it was really cool.
It actually was really cool to check out. We'll have a link to his channel in the description. Go check that out. Ryan, go over there and hit that bicyclist.
A bicyclist?
Yeah,
what does that sound like when it gets hit? Well, that, obviously.
That sounded painful, Ryan. I'm not sure we can just...
Was that a baby giggling? Our editor loves us.
Well, welcome back, though, everybody. And Ryan, I was actually reading through the comments of the last podcast, because Ryan and I read through your tweets, your comments on them, and one of the comments, you read this, Ryan, what do you think about renaming the show to JARS, the Jerome and Ryan Show? JARS.
Jars.
J-A-R-S. I mean, that's pretty cool, actually, to be honest.
Jars?
I didn't tell Ryan beforehand. You don't think it's good?
I don't know. Jars?
Welcome back to
Jerome
Jars.
and Ryan Show.
I think it's got a ring. Well, let us know in the comments
We could make
section.
that the hashtag. We could maybe do
Hashtag
jars. But
That's
then,
what I'm saying. Hashtag Jars.
But I
Show.
don't know if that's too specific. There's going to be some brand out there that's called Jars because they sell jars.
Jar branded jars.
And they're like, why are we getting all these tweets about video games?
Well, we can just be the Jar Show. I don't know. Let us know in the comments section what you guys think about the name. If we should do Jar, the Jar Show, Jars, Jar Jar Bank.
This is new to me. I like Jerome and Ryan Show, but you guys let us know in the comment section below what you think.
Ceramic jars show.
Basically, what we're saying is we're going to start selling all sorts of different sizes jars, and we have a subscription jar box that comes with jars in it.
So today's episode, now we're getting back onto that, is about indie games. So we're going to be talking about not just indie games, actually Xbox indie games specifically.
Oh, okay. All right. I could dig that because I always had an Xbox. I wasn't really a PlayStation-er.
Yeah,
I had a PS2 and stuff. But...
That's the same with me. That was when I dropped off. I had PS2, GameCube, and Xbox, and then after that, I was like, I'm just going to focus on one. And I just did Xbox all the way through, and PC, obviously.
And yeah, I mean, the marketplace just made it way too easy.
Yeah, exactly.
The Xbox Live Marketplace. So it was just way too easy to play all sorts of crazy games. So, I don't know. What did you play?
Well, when I was a kid, I mean, besides the basics, we were only talking about indie games. As a kid, one game stuck out more than anything. I made a game with zombies in it.
I thought you were telling me.
You know, I made a game with zombies.
Yeah, no. I'm like, whoa!
No, the name of the game is...
We're changing the show name and you made a game?
We're doing it about development, guys.
I thought I knew all about you, but now you're making video games.
You didn't know I developed my own video game.
That's awesome, but I have heard of that. Like, it took me a while.
I personally didn't make it, but the game is literally called, quote, I made a game with zombies in it, end quote. And
what is it?
It's absolutely hilarious. It's a top-down shooter where you have 2 controls. That's it, just the 2 analog sticks. One shoots in whatever direction you want, and the other moves. And literally that's it.
Are you just like, you're in a plane or something?
No, you're a third-person bird's eye view. So you're just a little dot, and you can see the gun in which direction it's pointing, like this. And you literally just swivel and mow zombies down.
That's awesome.
And you pick up like it's cool though because you pick up power ups. There's different stages.
That almost reminds me of the Call of Duty's arcade zombies. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, it's very similar.
That was really cool. We should do that for one of these episodes because that was fun.
That'd be a lot of fun. We could do a whole thing about Call of Duty even. Teaser, but not really. Because we have not discussed this till now.
Just like the jars thing.
Our show producer had a nice suggestion, but I'm not sure we can. I don't know if we can put that on screen. But anyway, so I made a game with zombies in it. Me and my friends played that a lot. The whole point of the game, it would take about like 10-ish minutes, and you'd literally win the game and or lose. Most of the time you'd lose, but if you beat it, you beat it. And
does it go on forever?
No, like literally, there's an end. It goes like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And it's absolutely
insane. You just try to get as much points as possible?
Yeah, and it gets super trippy. Different types of zombies come out at you, and it just gets ridiculous.
That sounds awesome. My game was Geometry Wars.
Oh, I know. I've seen you
and
play
Peggle.
What's Peggle? I know Geometry Wars. Explain Geometry Wars.
Okay, so Geometry Wars is basically like what asteroids would have been.
Okay.
On an more indie version, like a arcade stick, right? And you have this little guy, and it's like a space pod, and it shoots. But the game mode that we're going to be playing later, because that's going to be our challenge, is going to be...
Oh, you picked out our challenge
Geometry
already.
Wars. Yeah, I picked it out because I didn't practice or anything. I don't care about the wins or
To
anything.
be fair, I picked out Gang Beasts last.
Okay, yeah, so that is fair. Okay, so we're gonna be playing Geometry Wars later, and basically what we do is you just avoid these blue things. You just try to avoid everything on the map.
Okay.
And also,
that's it.
Yeah.
Okay,
but it keeps going forever.
Yeah,
the one that we're gonna be playing just goes on forever.
And I've seen Ryan play it as well. And there's co-op mode and there's multiple game modes as well. It's a fun game. Get it if you haven't already. I
would definitely get Geometry Wars is one of the best games ever. And then Peggle is more mindless, fun, entertaining. Like, it's just the greatest thing ever. It's like this really upbeat, cartoony, like unicorn game where you it has nothing to do with the unicorns, but it's like the main character is a unicorn, and you shoot a ball and it like hits the pegs, and you know how you drop a ball and it hits pegs and it drops to the end? Well, you just try to clear the whole board.
And that's it.
And for some reason, it's the most entertaining thing. I cannot make this up. Look it up, and you're going to want to play it. And the soundtrack's awesome. It's all great.
That's what's funny about these. Now you mentioned the soundtrack.
I think that's one of the big parts of some of these games is the soundtrack. Geometry Wars soundtrack, awesome. Peggle, awesome.
I made a game with zombies in it. One of the things that made it famous, now we're talking about soundtracks, is its soundtrack. The entire song, Ryan, is a guitar rock style song, and it just goes, I made a game with zombies in it. It's a guy singing about making a game about zombies in it.
Wow, that's pretty unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's about as unbelievable as me having a Twix caught on the inside of my mouth, like my
inner mouth troubles.
I have very
inner mouth.
Yes, inner mouth.
Yeah, but no, so I agree with you, though. I think that the soundtracks can sometimes make or break these games for sure.
I think, like I said, Peggle probably, with all these games, if they didn't have sound or a good soundtrack to them, I don't know what it would be like.
These games, if they didn't have sound.
If they didn't have sound, they would be weird. So that's, if you're going to be like Jerome and make a game, make sure you have sound with it. Now you're making me wonder,
what if, imagine if, now I know the technology wouldn't make sense, I don't care. Just picture 1930s silent film style, but imagine they had the technology to make video games. So you had silent games. How weird would that be? Well, see, I know that no way that exists, but
that'd be terrible.
Weird.
It'd be miserable.
Yeah.
Like silent movies.
Yeah, but in a video game. Can you imagine? And
you're cheating on me.
The classic music, dun, 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 dun,
yeah. No, they're silent. No music.
No, they play music.
Oh, did they?
Some of them did for some reason.
It's like a Tom and Jerry cartoon or something. Anyways, we're getting totally off topic. I think those are my games though. The Impossible game.
The Impossible game. Well, that's one thing I think we could talk about a lot after our next segment. Because the Impossible game definitely, it's some important things. But Ryan, I decided to set up for you my favorite game before we got into that.
All right, so you're doing it again. You're surprising me on the show, guys. This is live. This is all live.
All right, so I decided, why don't we try out I made a game with zombies in it for your first time.
Oh, okay, sick. Yes. Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
So we're going to go head over and play this Xbox indie game classic. Wish us luck, because I don't think we're going to win.
No matter what, after the show, I was like, I got to play that game. I got to try that game out now.
And you got to teach me some geometry. Well, you're going to kick my butt at it later, so.
We'll see. But we'll see you guys in a second.
On the other side.
Hey, what's up, guys? Alex here, the editor and quote-unquote analyst here, and I just wanted to start off by apologizing to you guys because, unfortunately, the audio and footage got corrupted from just the gameplay, thankfully. So I ended up going back, and this is my attempt at playing it. I sped up the footage here because I actually ended up getting pretty far. I think I almost made it to the end, but I'm not sure. So I just want to talk about Castle Shades. I was talking about my username. No, I want to talk about I made a game with zombies in it. And actually, something I just learned today, Mitch, Bayesian Canadian, told me. He said that this game came before Dead Ops Arcade, which is what this game basically I reminded of it. And it's extremely cool to see that games back in, I don't even know how long ago this was made, a couple of years ago. It's just so creative, so simple. But the fact that it's simple is very enjoyable in my case, because I just played Dead Ops Arcade 2 for the Black Ops, for the PS4, on the PS4 for Black Ops 3. And it's extremely similar and very simple, but I think that's what made it extremely enjoyable as well. Also, the music is really funny and enjoyable to play with. Just like I've seen Geometry Wars, the thing that made that game also popular is that the gameplay is very similar. It's you survive, you have to get a high score, and the music just makes it also an enjoyable experience. Not to mention that the fact that this game looks crazy. Like if you see me playing here, this game is absolutely nuts. There's so many zombies. There's like Snake, like I don't know, like the game is Snake, with like these freaking box snake things moving around. This game's crazy. But unfortunately, like I said, we couldn't retrieve the footage back. We tried really hard, but we could not, and I apologize for that. But yeah, look at this game. It's so trippy, and it's an enjoyable experience. So I have to admit that, because I've played so many indie games from my day, starting back when I started playing PC games in 2011, I'd say. So I played Binding of Isaac, Super Meat Boy, Bleed, Pixel, Rogue Legacy. Let me think. There's so many other games that I've played and I can't remember. But I've played so many of the major indie games, but I haven't really played too many of the console ones. And today's episode obviously being on Xbox indie games. I know I've played Dead Ops, which is in the Black Ops. I guess that kind of counts as an indie game, I think, in my opinion. I played Castle Crashers, Impossible Game. I played a lot of the Xbox ones that they've had for avatars, which I found really funny and enjoyable, honestly. I'm trying to think what other games they are. I've never played this one. I'm sure I've seen it in the marketplace before, but I've never played it. I think there was one I also played called Rascals, which is like a racing type of indie game. But super enjoyable games, and I haven't played any on the Xbox One, haven't gotten around to it, but a lot of these games they go kind of retro style, and I really like that, and they also have their very creative aspect of it. If you ever played Limbo, or if you ever played, I'm trying to think of another creative type of game. I guess Rogue Legacy was sort of mastered around Castlevania. But yeah, a lot of these games are extremely enjoyable. So honestly, if you have never played any of these indie games, I'd recommend checking them out. They're super relaxed, super chill, because it's not like a campaign. It's not like intense multiplayer. You can play this endlessly. Obviously, this doesn't look as relaxed because I'm freaking out over here trying to not die, but it's casual gameplay, which I really enjoy about these indie games, and I'm sure you guys would as well. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, so this game goes on, and it's nuts. Like, playing solo is a lot harder than I thought it'd be. I was like, oh, this looks like a cakewalk because I played Dead Ops Arcade. But no, these guys just endlessly come at you, and they swarm at you, and it's freaking crazy. I don't know how many lives I had at one point, but I had quite a few. I started to just run around and not play well, and this is the part where Geometry Wars kicks in. I thought that was pretty funny. The fact that Geometry Wars, like, the game creator gave a little nod to the fact that Geometry Wars was an indie game. A very popular one at that, honestly. And yeah, Rhombus is coming to kill you, which is kind of clever, too, that they made this game called I Made a Game with Zombies in it, even though, obviously, everything on the screen is not a zombie. Unless you want to call Rhombus's zombies and Snake Box Smiley Faces zombies and gelatin slime balls zombies, then I don't know. So yeah, I kept on getting wrecked here, and then suddenly I got to this screen, which actually Jerome and Ryan didn't reach this screen, and I was like, what the heck is going on? I have no idea what these flashing boxes of anger are, but I just sort of shot at them and hopefully they died. And I can't read what the screen is saying. It says, the game is angry, I think that's what it's saying. But yeah, like, the I swear to God, I can get, like, I don't know what that one thing is called, but, like, there's so much bright lights and flashing that my eyes hurt after a little bit. But it was an enjoyable experience, honestly. I think I start to get wrecked here, and I lose, like, 3 lives in a row. But look how crazy this is. After playing for, 10 minutes or so, and playing solo, like, there's no way. Like, I just get cornered each time because they're coming from each side. So unless I get, like, a really good item, I kept on getting destroyed. And yeah, I think I lost 3 lives here, and I think this was my final life, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see how I do. I don't remember it because I recorded this earlier, and yeah, so I started to clean up a little bit, and you see okay, like the zombies are starting to slow down a bit, and it looks like I might survive. No, no, no. There's so many of these red angry dudes on this other side, and I'm just like, what? Are you kidding? There's so many of these guys still left, and I think at this point I did die. Let me see. I don't remember. I'm really sorry. I should have commentated live over this, but I wanted to focus on it, and I did die, but I think the music ended. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Sorry about that with the whole, losing audio thing. Anyways, enjoy the show.
Well, Jerome, we're back to the show. How are you doing?
Pretty good. What do you think of a made game with zombies in it?
I think
Crazy,
it was awesome.
right?
Yeah, I think it's a good game. I mean, the soundtrack is what makes it.
It literally does. I mean, it just the
makes you want to just kill zombies.
No, yeah,
but I still can't believe you made that game though.
Well, I mean, the name of the game is I made a game with zombies in it, and no, one of our off-camera producers was gonna throw a panda at me, but I was not. No pandas for me.
Oh wait,
So
there it
I
is.
caught a panda.
That's awesome. That's great.
Is that a panda?
This is good family, wholesome fun here on the Ryan and Jerome show. I mean, Jerome and Ryan show. I mean,
this
Jars.
Abomination.
That's not Obama. What did you say? That's not Obama, you dummy.
Oh man.
All right.
Well,
so
anyway, I made a game with zombies in it. But Ryan, you mentioned right before we played the Impossible game, and I wanted to stop you there because I thought that deserved a little more time because that, if you don't know, is one of the top Xbox Live indie games downloaded ever of all time. One of the top ones.
I'd imagine because it's so addictive. It's the most addicting game I think I've ever played. Most frustrating, definitely also. But the soundtrack again for this game. Pretty much as you progress through the game, you've played it, right?
Oh, of course, everyone's played it.
You know how as you progress, it goes do do do, and it's this really cool beat, and it's like do do, and then as it keeps going on, the song keeps getting better and better. We have somebody behind the camera doing something funny, but I'm gonna keep going.
No, I'm just laughing at you doing the do do do.
Well, I don't. Can we get that edited in here? We don't want the sound.
Yeah. But pretty much, though, a lot of the things I want to bring up about this...
You want to keep on... What I'm saying is you want to keep on winning because you want to hear the whole song.
I got you. But the thing the reason why I separated this from the rest of them isn't just because it's one of the most downloaded games. It's because of the fact that there are so many games just like it that are addictingly frustrating. And that's what makes these indie games so popular, I think. So, like, for instance, even think back... This isn't going on an Xbox One, but Flappy Bird. That was an indie game.
That's it.
It was addicting, frustrating, and simple.
That's
Impossible game. Addicting, frustrating, simple. And I think there's a common theme there. I don't know why,
I think it's the never-ending ones, because I think when you can win, you're like, oh, okay, I got to beat my top score. But when there is no cap, you can always beat your top score. That's ridiculous.
Oh no, I completely agree. I think that has something to do with it, and then I think also it just kind of adds a more funny factor to it. The fact that you might not always win. And Mitch, do you have something to say about the Impossible game?
Sorry, I thought you were talking about I made a game with zombies in it still.
Oh, we were talking about that.
Oh, because that game ends. There's an ending.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So I was
Like, we just played it. You just missed the whole segment. He walks in the middle of the show, doesn't even watch the previous segment.
It never ends. I was going to come in and say, I'm pretty sure we beat
Oh, no, we're talking about the Impossible game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Very professional over here at the studio.
Yes, for sure. But it's not only that, the Impossible game,
Sure.
but also, like I was saying, though, about those games that are repetitive and onwards,
guys.
it's not just that, but it's also, like, I think the challenging part of it as well that really makes it, like, how do I put it? It's pretty much, it's not just the fact that it's never ending, that you keep trying to beat your score each and every time you play. I think also the fact that you keep failing keeps this addiction to it that makes you want to keep playing. It's like, you're chasing something that you'll never reach. You'll never reach the end of the game.
I know.
But
It's the same thing with when we play later Geometry Wars. What we're doing is playing a game mode called Pacifism, and you basically keep going. It never ends. Like you can just keep on spawning them more and more and more, and it's crazy.
It's called Pacifism, so you literally can't kill anything.
You can't kill anything. You just avoid them, and you try to get through these, which we'll show you later on. You just try to get through these little like lasers, like they're moving lasers, and when you go through them, they explode, and that's the only way to blow them up. It's really confusing until
Ryan,
I show you.
Exploding lasers and geometry are my favorite, dude.
Tell you what, you don't know how often I say
geometry.
You don't understand how often I go into E3 or these gaming conventions and I go, you had me at lasers and geometry.
You know,
Does
every
your
game
game
talks-
have lasers or geometry?
Every time I talk about
Love it.
their game physics and mechanics, and I just look at them and go, but
What
your
about
geometry.
how's your geometry? How's your lasers?
How many octagons are there in that game?
How many lasers do you have? What color are your lasers?
You wouldn't believe the amount of hexagonal pillars that I've seen in these games.
Trifrontal.
Low cortex, frontal cortex.
Wow, you sound like Tony Stark
Thank you.
when you talk. That's how smart.
Thank
and
you. I
genius
am good
are.
at skateboarding.
You are one. Yeah, Tony Stark.
That was the skateboard guy, right?
That's Tony Stark.
Oh, sorry, Tony Stark. What did he
Yeah,
do?
he started this. No, Tony Stark started the stock industry.
Oh,
And there's
okay.
Tony's hawk, who's Tony's. It's his hawk that he wears on his Tony's hawk.
Okay, so he
He has
invented.
a hawk. No, it just has. It's his hawk.
Oh,
It's
so
Tony's hawk.
So Twitter question and answer is basically what he did.
Basically, what I'm saying is we should probably go to our Twitter Q&A because that was such a healthy transition.
That's right, everybody. But in terms of that, the Twitter question and answer, before we read last week's responses, we want to propose a question for you all out there to tweet and have your chance of being featured on the show.
What is it, Jerome?
Well, for this one, we're going to say, if you did, well, I guess we shouldn't do just Xbox. We'll just do indie games in general.
Yeah, because I
What-
think maybe some people didn't have Xbox, maybe they had PlayStation.
Some people, I know a lot of people that only had PlayStation.
Understand.
So, what is
We
your
understand.
all-time favorite indie game ever? Just
Ever of all time.
favorite indie game of all time? Let us
Ever.
know by tweeting hashtag Jerome and Ryan Show at JeromeASF. Boom. At XRPMX13. Show me your armpit, Ryan. Boom. Twitter handles right there. Go and give them a little bit of a tweetaroo and let us know. And in the meantime, we're going to pull up your responses to last week's question, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, we're going to go load those up. Let's do it. So last week, we asked you guys, what is the game that gets you the most competitive, the most amped up? And we got a lot of good
Oh,
responses.
we really did. So Ryan and I shared our responses to last week's question. Honestly, though, Ryan, I mean, some of these answers are
Counter-Strike.
surprising. Well, yeah, you said Counter-Strike.
It had to be Counter-Strike. I don't
Mine
know.
was Halo 3 way back in the day.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, Halo 3 too. Yeah, I said Halo 3 also. So.
Yeah. But
Okay.
looking at some of these, I'm kind of shocked at some of the answers. Like things that I wouldn't even think of.
All right, you go ahead and start it off then, Jerome.
All right, so I'm going to take a look at one. This one is very, very common for most people. It's by Aaron Smith with 2 S's, and he says, my favorite competitive esport game has to be Call of Duty. It's just so fast-paced. And I have to agree. I mean, Call of Duty for the longest time, I would say, besides StarCraft, so we're doing like before Dota, before League of Legends, and besides StarCraft was like one of the biggest.
Yeah,
Call of
no,
Duty.
for
I mean,
sure.
it
Sorry, I
was-
just got so distracted because this pops up every single episode. We have Perez at Perez Pack who just said Zelda.
No! He literally did that
That's
just
it.
so Zelda could be brought.
That's it. Just Zelda. Like it's not competitive. Not a competitive game unless
He
you're
literally
speedrunning
just
it.
did that because every
episode we've brought up Zelda. Every single
and the
episode.
fact that I've never played Zelda,
And
I
again, this is what episode 6.
this is I think so.
This is
something
episode.
like that.
This is episode 6.
6,
and
7, 8, maybe 30.
48.
Yeah,
we're not
episode
very good
48.
at counting things.
We're 48 episodes in already.
Wow, that's
and
pretty impressive.
Try and search
Time
YouTube.
flies when you're having fun and you're being held captive.
Search YouTube to find the other hidden 41 episodes.
What?
What?
No, nothing.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what Ryan's saying, but it probably has to do with how awesome these responses are. Like from our buddy Butterbaka29 with D's instead of T's for butter. He says, when I lose in Madden 16 or die in Mario Galaxy. As I mean, Madden 16 makes sense for competitive. Mario Galaxy, some of these answers are surprising. I could see how people get competitive. Like you competitive speedrun games.
That's what I'm
so-
saying. That's what I was saying about the Zelda thing is like, you can be competitive if you speedrun it, but
Yeah.
I don't see that. I don't know. I don't know. I guess that's the only way, really. All right, this one's good. Call of Duty or CS:GO, says Matthew Green 18, and it says, and then he follows up. It's almost like he hears our conversation and says, Jerome, I feel ya. I have never played Legend of Zelda either,
Wow.
so
well,
don't feel
that's-
bad.
There we go. Now we don't have to feel bad.
2 times.
All right, we can keep on scrolling through this list. Here's one obviously most could expect from Kaninal K and
K9 LK.
K9LK.
Kanin.
Kaninal
We're really good at naming shows and reading names.
Yes, reading names and reading shows. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. And he said Oh no, he didn't say red. He said Hearthstone.
Hearthstone, I'm assuming is what he
I'm
meant.
assuming he spelled it Hearthstone, but
Yeah, he wrote Hearthstone.
he forgot
Gets
the H.
really competitive.
Maybe he meant like Pokemon Heart Gold.
No.
No, he
No,
probably
he
meant
didn't. Nope,
Hearthstone.
he didn't
yeah,
at all.
Yeah, okay.
This next person said Adam Nine Fingers said Red Dead Redemption. I don't know how that's very competitive.
Have you ever played? I loved it.
Is it
dude,
super
back then.
competitive?
I thought
it was like a free roaming game.
It's
kind
a
of.
free roam, but the multiplayer they have.
Oh,
some,
okay, yeah, that I can imagine. It's like GTA or
Yeah,
something
I
like that.
personally
Gotcha.
never knew anyone competitive, but man, I'd have a lot of fun with that game. I loved it. Free roaming, just blasting people to smithereens, and also doing like this.
Okay, I don't know how this came up again. Cryptic YT said back in the day when me and my cousin used to play Legend of Zelda, we would say who got further. So that answers our question about like how it was competitive. He just told us that's how it gets competitive.
And that was Cryptic YT who said that one.
And then we'll wrap it up with one more here with Awesome DJ 23. Sounds like a pretty awesome DJ.
He does sound pretty. I mean, yeah.
Just probably 23. Wicked.
Only 23 times.
Anyways, he
Never
said
again.
Rocket League because car soccer. Thumbs up. Because that is true. That's
Very
fair
answer. I've
answer.
seen some people go in on it. Like, I remember I did a deal out in Santa Ana with Hot Pockets. It was
What kind
live
of a
stream.
deal?
Oh, so it was a live stream kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So I was out there live streaming for Hot Pockets with a bunch of people, and one of them was Mr. 360 Games. And he took Rocket League so seriously, he logged on 400, and I believe it was 20 or 30 hours. And I didn't believe him. And then he played us 4 versus 1 and
He
beat us
destroyed you, really?
10-2. He was that good.
I'd love to watch that. Is that somewhere where I can watch that later?
It might be somewhere. I'm sure.
That's
it's
unbelievable.
probably somewhere.
That is
but
unbelievable.
there are people like him that are actually that good at the game. It's insane. It's
It's
insane.
like, yeah, professional at any game. Like,
Yeah, 400.
go
some
see our
odd
show
hours.
about esports and MLG and all that good stuff.
That was
because
last episode, actually.
We got really in depth with that, and that was really fun. But I think it's that time again for the show where I win.
Where you win?
Yeah.
You just assume you're gonna win.
Do we already ask the question for next time?
Yeah, we asked the question,
Oh,
but
okay.
we'll remind you guys once again, just because it might be a little hard to remember.
I didn't even remember it. So
Okay, well, perfect. We asked you all for this one. What is your favorite indie game of all time?
right.
Not just Xbox, just any indie game. That's perfectly fine. And let us know by tweeting out the hashtag Jerome and Ryan Show, at JeromeASF, boom, at XRPMX13,
boom.
Let us know what you think. But Ryan, you were transitioning into your final showdown.
Your favorite thing, lasers in geometry. We are going head-to-head in pacifism to see who can get further and a higher score in Geometry Wars. So we're going to do that right
Can we
now.
get a couple tries each, like 3 tries each?
Yeah,
or
we'll
something?
do a couple tries. If
Alright.
you die right away, like we'll give you a couple tries. I'm a little bit rusty, so I might need a couple tries.
Well, that might be the only saving grace I have then. Ryan's rustiness.
Sounds-
He's an old rusty trombone. And on that note, we'll be right back. All right, everybody. So unfortunately enough, what ended up happening was we lost the footage the same way as I made a game with zombies in it. It's kind of annoying, but that's fine because luckily I got a little bit of test run in with Ryan, and unfortunately he was able to beat me. But I thought, you know, it'd be pretty fun if I got to give my genuine commentary on Geometry Wars, because I just downloaded it on the computer, so I got the latest version, the evolved one. So I'm kind of a little bit experienced at it by now because I played with Ryan on the first original part of the podcast that accidentally got, you know, messed up and corrupted the file, which is very sad. But now, you know, I've learned a little thing bit about it, so I can play the game easily. But I just kind of want to give my thoughts on the game, why it's so popular, and also really just, I don't know, the influence it's had on indie games overall. So as you could tell, it really is kind of, I guess you could say almost a remake of some old retro arcade games. So it's got that real retro kind of feel. Oh my god, 3 million, that was my best round ever. That was better than me and Ryan's rounds on the Xbox. Like, our best rounds even combined. That was insanely good. Okay, so apparently I'm getting a little bit better and better. But regardless, I think one of the things that makes these indie games so popular is the ones that really go into detail trying to remake that same feel that older retro games had, but in a more modern way. So what I mean by that is, you saw I made a game with zombies in it earlier, as I believe Alex picked it up for us, because, you know, me and Ryan's whole entire footage got corrupted as well on that. But when we was playing it, if you notice one thing, the game has this eerie feeling of kind of like a weird, like, older top-down shooter almost. So it kind of feels like it's a game that should have been from, say, the 70s or 80s, or like a retro arcade kind of game, but instead it was placed into, I guess, modern times. I mean, it came out in like 2009, and it was pretty, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting to see how games like that are the ones that really take off, for the most part, in the indie game field. Now, keep in mind, there are other indie games out there that don't follow that schema, kind of like Minecraft. Minecraft is arguably, and maybe not even arguably anymore, it might even just be the largest indie game of all time. I think it's in the running for one of the largest games of all time. So I suppose saying it's the largest indie game probably wouldn't be a overstatement by any means. But you guys get the point. It's very rare that a game like that will take off. For the most part, it's the games that kind of emulate some of the older qualities of games that people love and have just, you know, guys come to know and love is the best way to put it, are the ones that really kind of just take off in the sphere. And oh my god, look at those jukes! Oh man, this is by far my best round ever. This is ridiculous. I might even beat Choco's best score, which is unrelated. I just kind of noticed because Steam has your top scores in there, and I kind of got this on Steam, and, you know, has, like, the top score of all your friends. And, like, now I'm kind of like, oh, my God. I think I just beat Choco. I actually think I just beat him. I think I beat all of Ryan's old records, too. This is insane. I don't know if it's just that it's easier on the computer or whatever, but I'm having such an easier time playing this right now than I did using an Xbox controller. Oh, my God. Wow, okay. Well, you know, 19 million, I believe, I could be wrong here, but I think 19 million by most people, 22 million. Wow. Okay, well, this just turned into me talking about Geometry Wars, and it turned into me setting a personal record. 22 million. Jeez, I don't know for sure, but I believe that that's actually a ridiculously good score. But yeah, so pretty much, those are just my initial thoughts on Geometry Wars. I think it's a fun game. Try it out if you have not done so already. I'll play another quick round, but realistically, I think games like this, once again, are so popular just because they emulate some of the older style games, and they have qualities from them as well, even though they're not like them. So for instance, the game is eerily reminiscent of Galaga, despite the fact that the mechanics are nowhere near the same. The mechanics of the game are nowhere like Galaga, but the character that you're playing as, for instance, and the enemies as well, all kind of have that same feel to it. It's even got that outer space feel. I mean, that's pretty much it. I think it just emulates a lot of qualities from other games from the past, and that's what people love so much about them. But let me know what you think in the comment section. I am very, very curious to see what you all think. And once again, even though we don't have the footage for it, because it kind of got all messed up and corrupted, Ryan did win this round of Geometry Wars. I'm sure in the future, on a future podcast, we'll do a makeup round of it so you guys can see us battle it out again, because maybe I can rematch Ryan, and who knows, maybe I'll beat him this time. And even if I don't, you know, then you'll at least get to see the footage of Ryan crushing my soul. It was actually really close, too. It came down to the wire. I think I was beating Ryan until his very last run, and then he ended up crushing me, like, by, not even that much. I think I had, like, 1.5 million, and he ended up getting, like, 2 million or, like, 1.8 million or something. It was, like, super close. Super, super close game. But regardless, everybody, this is going to be my final little attempt here. I don't think I'm going to do much better than 22 million. I don't think I ever will. Literally, I think that round was, like, a fluke that I just happened to catch on camera, luckily, which was pretty cool. Oh, killed him. Dodging him. Dodging him left and right. Dodging him left and right. Come on. Yeah! We ended up hitting the spike. So that's it, everybody. Back to the podcast. Thanks for watching so far. All right, everybody. So that is it for the show, Ryan.
That's a wrap!
Game on Geometry Wars.
That's a wrap.
That's episode 47. We're moving through these really quick.
Wow. I can't believe we
did
did 47 episodes already. That's insane.
Oh, wait, no. This is episode 6.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
You guys should just rewatch it 40-something times, and then it's like
You'll keep
episode 47, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll pretend.
Well, anyway, guys, thank you for joining us once again on this show. It's a lot of fun. Ryan and I really enjoyed
I'm
producing it
Jerome.
very well. I'm Jerome.
Oh. See, we're just not good.
I'm Cooper the dog.
And I'm Jerome.
Signing out.
Take it easy, guys.